If you're representing a home buyer and they're getting financing, then this addendum we're about to go over is important for you to know. And in fact, when there are multiple offers, this addendum comes in a lot. Guys, my name is Jeremy Smith. This is Living an Epic Life in Real Estate. I am here to educate you on all of these contract forms, especially the one we're going to go over today, as well as other aspects of growing your real estate business. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notification of more content when it comes out, and share this video with somebody who you think has to know this information. And the document that we're going to go over in depth today so that you have a very good understanding of what it means and how to use it is the addendum concerning right to terminate due to lender's appraisal. So TREC promulgated this form because we are in a market where multiple offers were very common, and agents and buyers and sellers and listing agents, like, we're all trying to do things to circumvent, I guess, in a way, some of the things that were going on. Like, hey, how do we guarantee that you're going to pay that much? You offered X amount over, how do we guarantee you're going to pay that? What happens if it doesn't appraise, and yada yada yada. So we were using attorneys to draw up addendums, which I think were still better than what we have here, but this is what we have. So let's go over it, make sure that you're aware of how to use it. It's a one pager, so it's going to be pretty quick, so let's get into it. So the first blank you're going to put in here is the property address. Again, this is another one that says street address and city. You can put zip code and state if you would like to. You don't have to. Address and city is perfectly fine here. So it says the financing described in the third-party financing addendum attached to the contract for the sale of the above referenced property does not involve FHA or VA financing. That's a statement, right? It's not a question, that's a statement. It's saying that it does not involve FHA or VA financing. Now, if you look back up to the top of this document, where the name is, it says addendum concerning right to terminate due to lender's appraisal. And then there's this fine print under that. Well, the fine print says use only if the third-party financing addendum is attached to the contract, so they've got to be getting financing, and the transaction does not involve FHA insured or VA guaranteed financing. So if it's a cash deal, you can't use this document. If it's a VA or FHA finance transaction, you cannot use this document. Therefore, the most common thing, or almost the only thing you're going to use this with, would be conventional financing. So paragraph 1 is a waiver. And what that says is that buyer waives buyer's right to terminate the contract under paragraph 2B of the third-party financing addendum. Paragraph 2B of the third-party financing addendum references property approval. If you have not watched that video and are unfamiliar with that document, find the video on this channel, go watch it, get educated on third-party financing addendum. So if property approval is not obtained because the opinion of value in the appraisal does not satisfy lender's underwriting requirements, or if the lender reduces the amount of the loan due to the opinion of value, which is the appraisal, the cash portion of sales price is increased by the amount the loan is reduced due to the appraisal. So let me break that down for you real quick. So let's say the home was being purchased for $100 and you had this waiver in effect on the property, and your buyer was putting down $10 already, right? They're putting down 10%, they're getting conventional financing, so they're financing $90. Now let's say that appraisal actually came in at $80. Well, what would have to happen is that buyer would have to put down the difference so that they could still get that loan. So really they're gonna have to put down another 20 grand so that they can still maintain that 10% down plus cover the difference, right? And whether or not they continue with the 10% down, that's really between them and the lender. But if you're gonna keep this same example the same, they would need to bridge the gap, which is 20 grand, right? Because you have a $100,000 sales price, the property appraised at $80. You've got a gap of 20 grand. So they've got to bring that 20 grand to cover the gap, and then they've got to put down 10%. So in this case it would be $8 if they're financing 80, 10% of that would be $8. So whatever their down payment is, that is in addition to the gap between the appraised value and the sales price. So part 2 is a partial waiver. So it says buyer waives buyer's right to terminate the contract under paragraph 2B of the third-party financing addendum if these two things. 1, property approval is not obtained because the opinion of value in the appraisal does not satisfy lender's underwriting requirements, so meaning that it didn't appraise. And 2, the opinion of value is blank or more. So in this example of $100, you as the agent would fill in this information. What does your buyer want to be their bottom line? So in this example, it was $100 for the property appraised at $80. So let's say you're in line 2 there, 2, it says the opinion of value is $90 or more, and the house appraises at 80. Well, now you're not on the hook for the full 20. You're not even on the hook for the 10, like it doesn't apply. The waiver, the partial waiver does not apply. The house didn't appraise, so now you gotta go back and renegotiate. But let's say the same example, $100 for the house, you put 90 here, and it appraised at 92. Well, buyer would be responsible for the $8,000 gap. So this paragraph is meant to kind of lessen the blow, right? Give you a bare minimum where you're like, hey, as long as it appraises this or more, we'll put the extra money down. So it really depends on the buyer's cash reserves and what they're able and willing to do with that. It says if the lender reduces the amount of the loan due to the opinion of value, the cash portion of the sales price is increased by the amount the loan is reduced due to appraisal. Same thing as paragraph 1. And then lastly here we have paragraph 3, an additional right to terminate. It says in addition to buyer's right to terminate under paragraph 2B of the third-party financing addendum, which does give them the right to terminate if they can't obtain property approval. Buyer may terminate the contract within whatever amount of days, right? You put that in there, after the effective date if 1, the appraised value according to the appraisal obtained by buyer's lender is less than, in this example, let's say we put $90, right? If it comes in, if the appraised value is less than $90 and the buyer delivers a copy of the appraisal to the seller, right? So you would have an additional right to terminate by saying, hey, look, it appraised for less than 90, or maybe you put it at the sales price, whatever number you put it at, it appraised for less than that, here's that appraisal report. Then you can terminate. So it says if buyer terminates under this paragraph, the earnest money will be refunded to buyer. This is a way for the buyer to get out of the contract and still keep their earnest money. So a lot to unpack there on one page. Seek guidance if you're using this document and you don't have a full understanding of what this stuff means, because there can be some high implications if this document is not used correctly. And those implications, of course, go on to your buyer or your client rather, and could come back on you as well. So study this document. We haven't seen it be used a whole lot here in the last year, so hopefully it stays that way, but you may need to know this in case it does come back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of this explanation. And again, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications, share this video with somebody who you think may benefit from it, and keep coming back. This channel is geared towards you, the real estate agent. I'm here to help you grow, not just in your business, but in any aspect of life that I can have an impact on you with. So again, guys, Jeremy Smith, see you on the next one. Peace.